Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another stale movie review. Today, we are talking about Pet. Pet was requested by Scuba Steve, who is one of my creepy patron peeps, and it was requested as one of his perks. So thank you so much, Steve, for the request, and thank you to all my other creepy patron peeps for your support of my channel. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. So directed by Charles Torrance and starring Dominic Monaghan, Ksenia Solo, and Jeanette McCurdy, Pet follows Seth, who bumps into an old high school crush, Holly, one day on his bus ride home. Seth becomes obsessed with Holly and begins to stalk her before eventually kidnapping her and holding her captive in a cage underneath the animal shelter where he works. Soon, the line between victim and captor become blurred as Seth reveals a dark secret he's discovered about Holly. There's not much in the way of like trivia and fun facts for this one either. The reviews for Pet were mixed when it premiered because there is a pretty huge twist in the movie, which I will be talking about, spoiler alert, ahead of time for that. Critics praised the performances and twists, while others lamented the twist for being totally implausible, which we will get into. Let's get into what I liked about Pet. Monaghan. I hope that's how you say his name. I don't know. I thought he was super creepy as Seth. He kind of reminds me of Elijah Wood, but I'm not sure if it's just because they have like similar acting styles or because they were both hobbits in Lord of the Rings and I just associate them both as hobbits and that's why they remind me of each other. I did like the twist, although I think it was revealed a little bit too early. So after the twist, which, spoiler alert, is that Holly is a serial killer, and Seth discovers this while he's stalking her, and we don't see that part of it yet until after he's kidnapped Holly. So it makes you think that this is going to be like your typical kidnapping sort of horror story, and then it turns it on its head. Didn't kidnap her because she rejected him and that was the only way he could get her. He kidnapped her because he realized she was a serial killer and did it so he could save her. And that's the big twist. After that twist hits, there's this back and forth between the two of them that I felt like was just carried on for way too long. So obviously once Holly is found out, she kind of turns her manipulation game on and is trying to manipulate Seth into setting her free so she can kill him. Being said though, I did enjoy the actual twist. You know, I also enjoyed how Holly became a serial killer just because she liked it. I was a little bit worried because they revealed that, sorry, another spoiler alert, that Holly's first kill was of her best friend because she had hooked up or something with her boyfriend at the time, Eric. Holly's boyfriend at the time, Eric, obviously. So I was a little bit worried at that, and I'm like, you know, huge feminist eye roll. Is that a thing, the feminist eye roll? You know what I mean? Like, of course, all women turn into serial killers either because of a man or because of, you know, like vengeance for their child or something. Like, give me a break. I liked how it was revealed that she kept killing because that first kill made her realize how much she enjoyed it. So obviously there wasn't any other like kind of like personal attachments with her other kills. It was just because she enjoyed the act of it. So I did like that. But that being said, let's get into what I didn't like about Pet. Was not a fan of Monaghan's accent. And I feel bad talking about this because I can't do accents to save my life. I thought his American accent was just weird. If I can find a clip of it, you know, where he's like talking, I will insert it right now.
Wondering if you wanted to get maybe dinner. I don't know about you, but I love seafood. There's a place on Wilshire. Holly, right? Holly Garling.
That kind of just took me out of it a little bit because he sounded kind of weird. I don't know. I also thought his character was kind of problematic because I felt like it was just that cliche message that like all loners tend to be psychos. Like, they set his character up quite well. He is a loner, and so like meeting Holly, you know, he finally kind of connects with somebody, or on his end he feels like he does. I just feel like that's like super cliche and just a stereotype at this point that all loners are serial killers or very prone to turn into serial killers because they're loners. But I guess, I mean, I feel like the movie, I guess, maybe kind of redeemed that in retrospect, looking at it now, because he ends up kidnapping her for other reasons. But he still clearly has mental issues. You know, he's got something wrong up here because, you know, he wants to save her. Like, he's so, like, deluded that instead of turning her into the cops, which he should have done, I know Holly brings it up at one point in the movie that, you know, he can't do that because he would have to admit that he was stalking her or something. But stalking, murdering, they're not on level playing fields. I feel like he would have been okay, Holly, if he had just went to the cops. But he doesn't do that because he's so deluded, so he kidnaps her, you know, and tries to save her or whatever, which, you know, again, I still feel like it's kind of problematic given the fact that he's a loner in the movie. You know what I mean. I felt like other parts of the movie were kind of boring and half-assed almost, like particularly the investigation into Nate's disappearance. He is the security guard who works at the animal shelter where Seth works. Seth going into the basement all the time, Nate starts to suspect something and goes down there, and then he eventually gets killed by Seth. So then obviously people, like the police, come and investigate, blah, 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 blah. And it's very half-assed. So there's like a moment where there's a detective there and he's asking Seth a lot of questions, and he clearly, the detective clearly knows that this guy has something to do with it, and then just nothing else happens. At that, like, I feel like that would have like added a little bit more conflict. Like, not only does he have to deal with Holly trying to like manipulate him, but he's also got to try and, you know, avoid a murder charge. And then just nothing happens with that, and they don't close that storyline off. And another spoiler alert we have where Holly kills Seth. How does she get him out of the building? Like, obviously she doesn't know her way around because she's been in one room the whole time and she wasn't awake when she was taken down there. So she just sneaks him out without being caught. Like, it's like at that moment, and all of this happens kind of towards the end of the film, where I just can't suspend my disbelief anymore, because I just have too many questions. Like, there's too many like little holes there. Like, how did she get out with the body? How, like the ending was kind of problematic. I'm just gonna spoil everything. So you find out that Holly gets back together with her cheating boyfriend, Eric. Even, like, you know, at the end of the movie, she looks at his phone and he's still a cheating asshole. So instead of confronting him about it, which obviously to Holly would mean killing him, she goes to this like abandoned warehouse area where it's revealed that she has Seth in a cage now, and he is not dead. And she's, you know, talking about how she had a bad day with Eric, and, you know, it's nice that she has Seth now to save her so she can take out her murderous impulses on Seth instead of other people. So she just stays in a super unhealthy relationship and takes out her frustrations on somebody else, is what happens. I know I'm probably reading way too much in the movie with this, but it's just what I thought about when I was watching the movie, and it took me out of it, to be honest. Was Pet worth it? It's a no for me, dog. Like, it's a no for me. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. 5. On IMDb, it has a 5.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has a 50% critic score and a 31% audience score, and on Letterboxd, it has a 2.7 out of 5. I was able to see Pet on Amazon, so I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box for you if you want to watch it that way. No pressure to use that link, but it does help out the channel a little bit if you do. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and ring that notification bell down there as well to be notified every time a video of mine goes up and every time I go live. Speaking of live, make sure you're tuned into Spooky Astronaut's channel tomorrow, Friday the 13th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Does This Offend You? Episode 4. We are talking about religion, which is one of the most offensive topics ever. And we're going to be talking about the last exorcism and stigmata. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!